Hello and good morning. So, the first thing I want to say is that if you participate in the chat and then don't see your comments later, and the other day I did have the computer wasn't plugged in or came unplugged, and drains fast, but it's got to be device specific. But I'm not seeing it on any of my devices: the tablet, the laptop, I use incognito on the cell phone. So that's very strange. I'm not sure what's up with that. I am heading out soon. Just chapstick. I'm heading out soon to something, a health group. But I wanted to do a quick post because I saw a post on a social media site that she's by, and um, I know a lot of this stuff. This stuff people have heard before, and I guess Canadian voting season, politics can often be disappointing. They just did voting the other day. It sounds like they already have a tally bright and early this morning, or so far the radio was saying. Anywho, and I'm not entirely surprised to hear this, and I don't know how he's gotten back in, and I'm usually not one that likes to get super political. But I saw a post, his mother, I believe, that said that, and I'm surprised. I mean, I know he thinks he's powerful, and he is the I fell in the garbage. Let the dumpster go. Sorry, he is the politician. He is the one in ruling in the states right now, but it just um, seems that it's great that people that are religious and from other walks of life and feel that they are support the community. And I'm not saying or needing to say whether I'm in it or not. I mean, that's not important, really. I mean, seriously, um, even not being, we should be loving and supporting each other. It's not that hard. And I don't watch a lot of politics stuff, so I'm not American, I'm not in the States. But so I don't know how much he goes on about religion. I don't know if religion, I think he's definitely using his power. There's a small part of me, I watched a little bit of it back in the day, that's ever so curious to watch the show The Apprentice. But now, the way things have been with Trump over the past number of years, it's like, and again, hate to get political on this channel, but apparently he's shutting down a. So now there's either an international one or a Canadian one, and we have one viewer, a support line for the LGBT community. And honestly, to be honest, I really feel like most of us are at least a little bit the third letter, and I don't include the Q because I feel like it's kind of one of the other ones, and you just don't haven't explored it yet, haven't found your preferences, and nobody has to like everything the same. But yeah, I wasn't going to do a video today, but when I saw that, and again, I'm not super surprised, but just the actual act of going that far and doing that, um, I mean, the suicide rates are going to go up, I feel, and that makes me very sad. So I wanted, so the title will hopefully speak to some people, and so I put my arms crossed. I'm not meaning anything by it, but hopefully speak to some people. And I'd like to say a couple things. One, if you have a family or friend in the community, make sure you're being there for them, as much as you can, try. You don't have to be a professional. You don't have to be, you know, have a degree. You're a human who may have very important opinions and love to give. Um, and also just wanted to say, and this is really honestly one of my shorter ones. I mean, I woke up, I had a shower, I moved around a little bit, and I'm actually feeling pretty good. And I'm looking forward to going something, and I have to take a bit more time before I go out. So I can't be long with this one. And honestly, I don't really feel energetic enough to be. I'm still tired from yesterday, even though I slept well, and yesterday was great. Um, but basically, yeah. If you need support, if you need just someone to talk to, so that you don't feel lonely, or so that you know, it isn't hugely a theme of this channel, but I'm not against it being so, and neither of them. Um, I tried to volunteer at support lines. I really didn't. I mean, I guess I thought about it earlier with the hat, and unfortunately, you know, a couple of the women were kind of anti-men, and because they were staff and I was a volunteer, and they might, if they're watching this, I've mostly gotten past it, but like that was not handled well. That it was so wrong, uh, you know. And I mean, the place I'm going today is actually, and it's not a GLBT LGBT agency, but I heard that a lot of the staff are, and they make it fairly obvious. And in fact, I'd almost say maybe a little much so. But like as far as like all the rainbow stuff, but they mostly seem to be female. But anyway, you know, so but I mean, I'm not super familiar with the place, and it's a little bit maybe I just feel like it's imbalanced, or it's like well, anyway. Point of the matter being is that, and then there was another one. I'm actually soon to be involved in the program sometime this week, probably. Let's take the phone off mute. I just don't want it to disturb me otherwise. But I'm not in the habit of looking at that cordless phone. But so maybe I will before I leave. But basically, there was one thing which may sound odd as a YouTuber, and I don't remember the exact details. I haven't looked at it recently, and I'm just seeing here, and he almost didn't admit it. There was I don't know. I got distracted by the thing on this screen. But yeah, basically, taking a stand and against injustice and unnecessary hate. Like, these people are just trying to live their lives and be happy. And we all know sadness and discontent and such in our lives. This is a good way to put it, actually. We wouldn't want someone else to feel it, I would hope. So, like they're not causing any harm. Unfortunately, I do feel like a lot of the times religion is part of where the hate stems from. I'm not really sure why else, to be honest, but it will not be welcome here. I'll tell you that much on this on this site, on this channel. Yeah, it's. I had another thought that I was really wanting to kind of finish, but I can't remember what it was now. So. Oh, right. So I'm hoping to, I told them I couldn't this morning, but I'm hoping to find out, a little bit more about that thing that kind of I felt was a hiccup. And then, even though there's quite a bit of a process, and actually, that's unfortunately, though, I don't need to when I think about it because they also want a record check, as if, people in the community are all criminals or something. They want a record check. Well, no, that's not why. And again, I'm not said I'm in the community. Anywho, but they wanted a record check, which I've not ever gotten one, not needed to, and still don't. But they require it, and basically, they're saying that. And I asked if they cover it, and then they have this chat, almost like a chatbot thing that they use too, and it sent me and said, "Well, there's no fee for it." Or there's nothing to cover because there's no fee. And I'm thinking, and that's mostly for seniors, but in general, and I'm hoping what's the face is old enough and busy enough, what's the face that won't be there. But it's kind of like they say that there's enough to cover it, or that there's nothing to cover, but I've never heard of a free one, so that's odd. And I also don't think for over the phone support I need to do one. So we had somebody here for about 3 or 4 minutes, and I know it didn't quite sound like it was maybe necessarily on topic. It's just I just wanted to share a little bit of the things that I've been trying to do, trying to get involved with to help others and give back, including in mental health. and it's been slow go. Like I say, I'm joining a couple of really just groups for a general sense of community. It's actually not specific to the GLBT community, but I feel calling to be involved at it, so I'm going to go. And there might be some members, there also won't be. That's not being my best, it's complete honesty. But anyway, basically, yeah. So I have to head out to that soon. But yeah, I want to be here for people. First of all, I guess I would say if you're questioning your sexuality, don't accept your feelings. If you have those feelings, accept them. And then gradually over time, you can let people know you don't have to do it all at once. You could choose to. I think that these days, and I should take this mirror down for future videos, I think that these days it's better that way. But yeah, and same with mental health issues, like I am a little bit curious, ever so slightly curious though. If anybody has something to say on this, don't try too hard, but if you do, if not because of religion, which I don't feel is a good reason, and you don't accept the GLBT community, why? Is it because you think that it's not a societal norm? Because I would say you're probably mostly wrong on that. Or why? I mean, I will say you probably won't sway my feelings and opinions, but I am kind of curious. Like they say, the phobias. I mean, what are they afraid of? You know what I mean? Um, and would it really actually be that bad? It's a dislike. I'll never forget. I went to a pride with somebody once. I didn't really, want to get into things of the past a whole lot, and I mean, this is the interesting thing, and I mean, I just because somebody comes across a little bit, for lack of a different word, thuggish, perhaps doesn't mean they're not in the community, but it might have meant that. And we were coming from a pride thing with somebody. I'd say neither of us was, although I think he was in denial, but we went there. And we were coming out of the one area, and I seem to remember, or I read, it was after that. I mean, a while after that, I was walking downtown and walked past the guy, and it was one of those people that, and a lot of it isn't even like, I don't want to say it's terrible music, but it's mostly just like really bassy, really drummy music, or sometimes hip hop. But he was walking with a speaker. The pride thing that he was with other people. And just as we happened to walk past and kind of exit out of the whole area, they started to come walk behind us. And the music was playing, and I don't know what I was saying. This was years ago or whatever. No problem. So if they weren't, and they like to be rough around the edges, and they weren't in the community or looking to cause any problems, they just like to walk around with their speaker playing, then, that's, I guess, for lack of a different way to put it, progress, right? Because they went the other way, they didn't walk behind us for very long, and then they went the other way. So, that's kind of my, I guess, advice, and most people's advice to, if you don't like it and you can't just accept it, turn around, focus on your own life, but I can guarantee you that you probably have somebody in your life, family or friend, that is struggling with mental health or is GLBT and isn't telling you. Perhaps because they might get a certain vibe from you if you're a certain way. And I tell you, one very powerful line, and it doesn't necessarily, some may say it does, but it doesn't necessarily, and I really recommend the Linda video they post too, encompass the whole community. But I've heard the phrase, I'd rather have I forget exactly how it goes, but I'd rather have a gay child alive than the opposite, essentially. Again, full community as we get a second viewer. Welcome. Like seriously, life is precious and it's too short, and you don't need to lose a loved one just over something like that. And honestly, I'd wonder if you actually love them if you were willing to lose them over something like that. You know, um, this could be a whole other topic, but yeah, sometimes it is. Well, we love our family because they're our family and we feel like we should. Sometimes even members that don't necessarily treat you well for whatever reason. And we lost a second viewer there, but both of you were there for about 2 minutes. I've learned that, for the most part, a relation title, until it affects you in ways that you would want, I suppose, but it's just that. You still don't deserve toxicity. You still don't deserve to be mistreated and not loved and all that stuff. So one of the people that it says it went at the top. I haven't been rolling super. Okay, it went. I thought maybe the other. Anyway, but a couple of people stayed for 2 or 3 minutes. Anyway, for whatever reason, personal or not, topic based or not, they had to leave, and I do too. So, and I guess the other thing I'm curious about, besides again reminding you that I'm here to support you in the community. Be honest, be genuine. I'm here to kind of work through your thoughts if you're against it and it's not because of religion. I'm here to support you if you already know and just don't know what to do and feel like you don't have enough resources, partly because of Mr. Stupid Ginger. And that's not anything against gingers. It's just, I could play Dear Mr. President, but that'll have to be another time. I have to, I have, like, I need a little bit of time to do some stuff before I head out to something. So I got to go. But, yeah. And if there's any topics related to this that you'd like me to talk about, put them in the comments. This time, I won't worry about whether the live chat shows or not, because it won't be while it's live. So check out your comments soon. Okay, bye. Have a good day. Try and smile. Be strong. Be positive. Be there for each other.